High-tech mic, I can't turn it off. Check 1 2, check 1 2. William, how would you, our elder, William, where are you, William? I need some direction, William. Where are you, William? Okay, you will give me the hands up when you're ready. Okay. Did we want to do the closing comments first, William, before we do the closing and bringing in the flags, retiring the flags? Okay, Nigantu. All right, they gave me the go-ahead. We'll do a closing comments, and then we'll go into our closing ceremony, retiring the flags, retiring the staffs, and closing out the conference. They're doing that there. Okay. Can we get an opening over here about 1, 2, 3, 4 tables in? Can we make an aisleway for the dancers to go through there, please? And I see elders start doing it already over here. 4 tables, so 4 tables, 1, 2, 3, 4. And in the front here as well too, yeah. So we can have the people, the dancers and the flag staff carriers, place to walk. So if we can have that 4th row, if we can make a walkway through there right to the back, please. So how was our week here? Right on. Right on. Good to hear. You know, I'd like to thank the Meadow Lake Tribal Council education staff. They've been here since Monday, getting ready. They've been at this for about 6 months, getting ready for this. As you know, it takes a lot of commitment and a lot of time by a lot of people to make this happen. So before we start, I want to ask that I have all the MLTC education staff stand, please, and give a wave, and let's give them a round of applause for the hard work that they've done to make sure that we have a good conference here this last few days. Thank you very much. Can I have some male volunteers? Tom, little Tom, can we have you carry a flag, please? Little Tom, can I have any other leadership that's here? If I can have you carry a flag, please. Leadership, male leadership. If I can have some male leadership here, please. If not, can I have some volunteers? Volunteers to carry the flags out for us today. Oh, hey. Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to introduce myself now after I've been yapping here for 10 minutes. I'm the Cree Vice Chief of the Meadow Lake Tribal Council. My name is Richard DeRocher. I come to you from the Flying Dust First Nation. You know, I want to share with you a little bit something about our leadership right now. Lawrence McIntyre, Vice Chief, Dene Vice Chief, and myself have been going quite hard lately in the last 6 or 8 months. And it caught up to us. Lawrence, as you know, is fighting a battle right now with an awful disease that we all hate to talk about. And Lawrence was probably here a couple days when he shouldn't have been here. He shows that kind of a commitment to his position as leader of the Meadow Lake Tribal Council. Richard Ben himself, if you've seen him the last couple days here, our tribal chief, he as well is struggling with his health. As I as well, struggling with some issues that'll pass. But we remain committed to this organization. We remain committed to what the chiefs want to see for their communities. That is why I made this trip here today from Meadow Lake, to make sure that one of us are here to close this conference today. You know, I was thinking about our theme, looking forward, revitalization. And I thought about the acorn, pine cone. I believe that's where we've been for a long time as First Nations people. We've been that acorn, that pine cone. And when does that pine cone come alive? After a fire. Pops. And then that's when we start to grow. I believe that's where we are as First Nations people. The awakening of the residential schools. The education. I remember a long time ago when the old people said, go to school, learn the ways, go to school, learn the ways. We now have people in those positions. We have doctors, we have lawyers, we have teachers, we have social workers. In all professions, we have those people now. Now is the time that we pop our pine cone and pass that knowledge and growth onto our young people. In Flying Dust, where I come from, in 1993, I had 4 elders come speak to me my first year in council. 4 elders come spoke to me. The late Reverend Frank Morasti, the late Miss Flora Gladue, the late Miss Gleisha Bear, and the late Adele DeRocher. Them 4 elders came and told me, we need a school in our community. We didn't have our school. We sent our kids to the town of Meadow Lake all the time. And they explained to me why. They said we need our kids to be proud of who they are. We need our kids to have pride in themselves when they leave our reserve and go to school in town. For the first 3-4 years, we only had a kindergarten, but it was a start. Years later, we had kindergarten to grade 4, and it was the community sacrificed this. We had in portable classrooms for about 10 years. And then finally, we got to build a new school about 8 years ago in Flying Dust. Now we have a program from kindergarten to grade 9. And that's what this is all about, is our children, to make them proud, to make them prosper, to make them confident in who they are. Still remembering who they are moving forward in today's world. That's what this education conference is all about. To make sure that our kids are confident when they leave, when they get off that bus in Meadow Lake, when they get to the University of Saskatchewan, or wherever they may choose to go to school, that they're confident in who they are, and they're confident to go in today's world. I see it. I'm not a very educated man. I've done a few years post-secondary. but I'm nothing compared to, we have doctors in the house. We have knowledge keepers in the house. This is all, it takes all these people in order to make the dream come true that them four elders spoke to me about years ago. To make sure that our children are confident. That's always what I think of when I speak of education. And there's all kinds of education. I get educated every day. This morning I brought my two grandsons with me. They have no school at home, so they come for a ride with me. Well, I got educated by them on the way here. It's a humbling education. So we have elders that speak to me regularly. That's education. Yesterday I was in an NRTA meeting in Meadow Lake talking about natural resource transfer agreement and how it's affected us as First Nations people by the government of Canada giving our resources, our land, away to the provinces, and how it affected our old people. We had about 20 elders in that room, and they told us how they felt. How they felt like things got taken away from them. How they can't use the same ceremonial spots that their ancestors used before. How they can't hunt in the same areas because of rules put onto us by the province. It all comes together, and this is why education is so important. We need them young people to come back home and help us out with their education so that we can fight for what's rightfully ours in a good way, in our way, with our knowledge, as well as the knowledge of mainstream society. This is my thoughts on the way here today of how important education is. It's not about, I always say this, education is not about A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. Education's about growing people, growing kids, to be healthy, to be confident young people, and releasing them out in the world to represent us. That's why I believe we're doing so good in Indian country. Land-based learning, language revitalization, things that are so important to us. They're coming alive. They're coming to be true. I'm from a First Nation that if you're not over 70 years old, you don't speak your language. Flying dust. And the elders spoke about that yesterday. But guess what? My grandson can just about do a sentence to me in Cree when he speaks to me, when he wants to speak Cree. He can just about do a sentence. He can do choppy words. We're looking for the sentence. That's what it's all about. The revitalization of our language, the revitalization of our old ways to make sure that our kids will survive in hard times to come. And I'm so happy to see it. I see it on Facebook all the time. All our communities, land-based learning is top up here, especially in northern Saskatchewan, in our communities. Well, I think our elder's waiting for me. Hey, elder. So with that, I'd like to thank you all for participating. All the 9 First Nations and Meadow Lake Tribal Council, you're awesome. I love yous. Keep going. To our visitors, you're very welcome to be here for the last 3 days. We appreciate you taking time to come in and visit us. We're enthusiastic about your input. And you know who's going to gain from this? Our children is going to gain from this. That's the important thing. With that, I'm going to ask our drummers to bring us in Bring the flags out, please. Aho. I got it mixed up with the Wild Horse.